Man, David Taylor is going to have a super tough decision year one at Oklahoma State, and it's eerily reminiscent of some of the decisions that we've seen Tom Brands and Cael Sanderson have to make when they first started their tenures at Iowa and Penn State, respectively. And that's the decision to go all in year one and wrestle your best lineup or redshirt guys and set yourself up for the future. Now, in year one at Penn State, Cael Sanderson came in. He redshirted David Taylor and Ed Ruth and even Quentin Wright. And a bunch of those guys sat and waited, and then by 2011, Penn State was ready to win a national title, and they did just that. Iowa did very similarly with Jay Borschel and other wrestlers. They redshirted a lot of their guys, and there's sort of an understanding year one, the expectation that you're still kind of getting the pieces in order, so the pressure's not on to win and win right away. And for Tom Brands and Cael Sanderson, year two was the year they won. And we could be looking at something similar potentially for David Taylor, but he's going to have to resist a little bit of temptation, because what David Taylor has is what Cael Sanderson and Tom Brands didn't have when they got to Iowa and Penn State. And that's a team that's ready to win a trophy for sure year one. And David has a team at Oklahoma State that could do that. And that would be a statement, right? Because this is a program, Oklahoma State, that was 18th and 10th. So for them to be a top 3 team next year, that'd be quite a statement. That would be a message. That would be, an important thing for David Taylor. But if David wants to play the long game, I believe they could set themselves up to contend for a national title in 2 years. I think that's realistic. Now, there's a few reasons I believe that. One, Penn State is going to lose some really big pieces. Now, are they going to be without national champion contending guys? No, absolutely not. But if you lose Greg Kerfleet and Carter Starace and Bo Bartlett, there's impact there, right? That's going to hurt. Those are guys that are not easily replaced. Even for the great Cael Sanderson in Penn State, there's only been one Carter Starace. He's going to be a 4-time, now eventually he is a 4-time, could be a 5-time national champion. Greg Kerfleet is an elite dominant heavyweight. And those aren't just easily plug and replaced next year. And for Bo Bartlett, you may say, well, they have Tyler Kasich, they have guys. At 141, it's a little bit of a question, because it seems like Kasich has definitely outgrown 149. Shane Van Ness is a 49-pounder. So in 2 years, are they going to have that national finalist contending guy at 141 even? I'm not as sure. I'm certain they're going to be really good, and they're going to be maybe even the favorites to win NCAAs. But let's get back to Oklahoma State and just the things they could do, the pieces they could move around. Wyatt Hendrickson, I believe, has the ability to redshirt if you want to. You can't redshirt it at the Air Force Academy, so that should be available to him. Okay? Dustin Plott has a redshirt available. He's ranked number 2 right now. Parker Kekeisen is coming into his last year for UNI as a runaway favorite to win that weight class. So you could let him clear out. 174, you've got Dean Hamady. He has a red shirt available. You could let Keegan and others graduate, and that would make things a lot better. And you get to give yourself an extra year of development. Dean's wrestled right away. Dustin's wrestled right away. Would these guys benefit from a time of just training? You also have a transfer in Caleb Fish. You have Braden Thompson. You have Luke Serban. You have Cody Merrill coming in. You could redshirt all these guys and just have a hammer squad ready to rock and roll for the 25-26 season. And I think when you take points away from Penn State and you add those points in for Oklahoma State, obviously there's going to be transfer portal chaos that could impact both of these rosters, right? That could happen. But on paper, if you look at Oklahoma State versus Penn State 2025 season, I think it is really realistic that Oklahoma State puts a team on the mat that can go up against Cael Sanderson and Penn State. But I don't think that can happen this year. And if David doesn't want to go for it this year, next year's available. But he's got to make a choice here. Because I don't think, as great as he could be as a coach and as great as Oklahoma State's potential is, I don't think it's possible to contend for a title, to bring a trophy home next year, and then contend for a title next year. Those two, in my mind, are mutually exclusive. And David Taylor's going to have a big decision on his hands. But either way, it's going to be a fun and exciting year to follow for Oklahoma State wrestling.